Stop and learn. Stop and learn. Hey, stop.
Stop and learn about our God each day. And discover how to live your life the best way.
Tell me how.
Read the Bible, take time to pray. Listen to what God has to say as you stop and learn about our God each day.
Stop and learn.
G'day there. Arnie here again from Arnie's Shack. And this is Bible Buddies. Great to have you and your family back as we investigate and discover more about our amazing God and how much He loves us all. We have been looking at the story of Julia and Joseph Steed and what they did way back in the 1880s to help others to learn about Jesus. They really lived out the text from 1 Corinthians 15:58. So, my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless.
Today's story comes from a book called Peddling the Gospel. Julia and Joseph Steed were Seventh-day Adventists who loved Jesus. They had lived with their 4 children in a tent in the desert in Broken Hill for 2 years before returning to Adelaide. They didn't stay there in Adelaide for long, though. They soon moved their family to a place called Scott Creek. There they met up with some other Seventh-day Adventists, John and Ann Scragg. They began holding Sabbath school each week in Ann's home. One day, Julia received a message from Ann that her young son Walter was sick. When she arrived at Ann's home, Julia found that the boy was so sick she thought he might die. So Julia offered to take little Walter to hospital. Julia had to carry him in her arms for 5 kilometers to reach the main road. By the time she got there, she was exhausted. Julia sat and prayed that someone would come by and give her a ride to the train station. This was before there were phones or cars, so she couldn't call anyone to come help her. Eventually, a man came past with his horse and cart. He spread out sacks in the back of the wagon to make little Walter comfortable and gave her a ride all the way to the train station. They made it just in time for the weekly train to Adelaide. God knew that they needed to make it to that train. Walter's life was saved. He grew up and became a pastor and was able to tell many more people about Jesus.
What a wonderful story. Julia was willing to do all she could to help little Walter, and that horse and cart came past just in time. What a great example of our text for this week. 1 Corinthians 15:58. So, my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless. Anyway, our time is up for today, but I will look forward to catching up with all of you again next time on Bible Buddies. So take care, stay safe, and God bless.
Learn about